Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax's, and it's time for the Inbox Challenge 2, Day 24. Today's numbers were picked by Sequoia Flame, David, my good friend David, and he picked 3 numbers because he probably thought he'd give me a break, but I did 5 because I'm trying to kill myself. And the ones I picked will come at the end. So the first record David picked, he's going to love these. The first record David picked is tailor-made Bluegrass, and this is Bluegrass made by the Taylor family. This is Jerry, Fred, and Linda, and Eileen. They're a handsome family. Those are some big hats. And this is the period where the glasses were nasty. And the hipsters are wearing those. They're like female pedo glasses. Like Coke bottle pedo glasses. This is this is an independently released record. It's on their own label, but it's on this WRC, the Custom Record people. So they put out all kinds of records. They put out that record by the Real Statics that Guri showed, gave me that I showed, and funny, they always got their catalog number on everybody else's independent releases, and they're not the World Record Company out of Australia. They're from Canada. And this one doesn't really have their own label. They didn't seem to have called it anything. And this is, I don't know anything about Bluegrass. I kept this because it was Canadian and it was clean and it was on WRC, and I'm kind of interested in the independent, privately released Canadian stuff. You know, you can find some kind of weird, interesting stuff, and I kind of collect it, so I kept it, and it's pretty good. I really don't know anything to say. Is it actually good Bluegrass? It didn't hurt me to listen to it. And it has a cover of Irene Goodnight on it, which is it Leadbelly or it's not Leadbelly, it's Guthrie. One of those guys wrote it, because that's on the Folkways Division Shared, a tribute to Leadbelly and Guthrie. And I think that's covered by Honey in the Rock on that. Anyway, I listened to it. We listened to it. It was, it's enjoyable enough. David, you don't want to listen to that. I know you don't like that stuff. Next is Simple Minds. Once Upon a Time. This is apparently my wife's favorite Simple Minds song, was Alive and Kicking. I did not know that until tonight. Thank you, David. I kept this because it was on the Canadian Virgin, but it's on like this really thick vinyl, and it's not made by Cinram, which most Canadian records are being made at Cinram by this time. I saw the tour before this. Can't remember what the hell that was called. And I met Simple Minds like the next day on the streets of Toronto. Well, I met 3 of the guys. I recognized them. Charlie, the guitarist, and 2 of the other guys. I recognized them because I stood in front of them at the show the night before at Massey Hall. I had won tickets from CFNY. I used to win a lot of stuff from CFNY back in the day. Those were good days. But Jim Kerr wasn't with them, and I was like, where's Jim? And, oh, he's back in the hotel with Chrissy. So that was when he was with Chrissy Hind. The record sounds okay. I always found Simple Minds recordings a little anemic, and I don't know why. And I still do. Next is Thelma, Houston, and Pressure Cooker. I've Got the Music in Me. This is recorded live from the studio, direct to master disc. This is a Sheffield Labs direct to disc recording. This is kind of Slightly funky, mostly disco-y. And it comes with a nice thick cardboard inner sleeve. And it's on the Sheffield Lab label. See how that has that like flower there? There was another company that put out direct-to-disc records that kind of played on that motif. They called themselves Black Orchid, I think, and they had a black orchid on the label, but basically the labels look like this. So I have this. This is just another copy I picked up at a show. Price was right. It's a good record. You know, people say it's one of the better direct-to-disc recordings. I don't know. It's okay. That's the audiophile in me cannot not buy Sheffield Lab recordings, even though I know they're mediocre. Musically not recording. It sounds amazing. And because it's kind of disco and funky, it's really well done. And it is one of the better Sheffield Labs. So those are your numbers, David. So I picked a couple of things that were in the bin, same bin. And I was flipping through and pulling those. I was like, First is this. Joseph Jarman, Don Moye, featuring Craig Harris and Raphael Garrett. This is Earth Passage. Earth Passage Density. Joseph Jarman on tenor, alto, and soprano saxophones, piccolo, C alto, bass, and bamboo flute, alto and bass clarinet, etc. Famudu Don Moye on sun percussion, all drums, earth drums, traps, cowbell, chimes, bells, triangles, etc. Craig Harris, trombone, bamboo flute, didgeridoo, cowbell, and voice. It's got cowbell. Raphael Garrett, bass, C and bamboo flute, clarinet, conch shell, and panpipers. Recorded in 1981 in Milano, Italy. And this is a Black Saint. Apparently there's Black Saint t-shirts out there. I've seen people with them. I don't have one. Show all kinds of Black Saints. I don't get a t-shirt. Anyway, David, you would love this. This is actually a really good record. The drumming on this is fantastic. I have to find out more about Don Moye, the Famudu Don Moye. Pretty amazing. Joseph Jarman, I wasn't blown away by that element to the record, but I was definitely impressed with the drum performance. And the tracks are Zulu Village, Happiness Is, Jawara, and Sunspots. And really good record. I paid too much for this, so I'm glad I actually enjoyed it. When I looked it up, I bought it because it's Black Saint. You don't see it too often. I kind of paid through the teeth for it. When I got it home and looked it up, I did. But it's actually pretty good. So, kind of very ethnic's not the right word. Slightly African in sound, slightly organic, free at moments, very free at other moments, controlled and musical and straight ahead, but more often than not, kind of like bouncing around in between free and controlled. And I enjoyed it. So I was really happy about that. And finally, an ECM. This is Aero. Stupid store. This is German pressing with a matte cover. And they put a sticker on it that won't come off. And something about these stickers at this store, even when they do come off, they leave that glue stain. Just love that. You know, it's a 30-year-old survivor that's perfect, and then they fuck it up with that. Anyway, this is Masqualero is the band, and the song is called Aero. And Masqualero has Errol Anderson, John Christensen, Tor Brunberg, Niels Petter Molliver, and Frodo Alvinus. Frodo, I think, was in The Lord of the Rings. This is a German pressing. This is late in the days of vinyl, although ECM, I think, probably went into the early 90s, but this is a 1988 or 89 recording on this kind of almost black-green ECM label, and in 1988, West German. Nothing beyond, does have ECM 1367 in dead wax, which a lot of ECM records don't have the actual ECM 1367. They usually just have like the actual 1367 in, so that's interesting to see. And as you can see on the label, it's a digital recording. Oops. There. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the digital recording. This sounds fantastic, and it proves if you do things right, it can be really good. This has a wonderful tonal quality to it, incredible bass extension and highs. Like, it's just a gorgeous record. And musically, it's slightly spiritual, slightly soundtracky. Just another excellent ECM record. I love Errol Anderson. This isn't shimmery, like this isn't an essential top 25 ECM record, but it, you know, you would like this, David. Definitely, you would like this. So, so those are today's records. So, Aero, Masqualero, Aero, you know, Frodo's on it. I could be wrong. I could definitely recommend that. I can recommend this to David for sure. Earth Passage Density by Joseph Jarman and Don Moye, featuring Craig Harris and Raphael Garrett. If you kind of are into your gear and recordings that kind of are more live and have like great soundscape, this is one of the Sheffield Labs you should probably track down. You can find that for $10. Don't pay like 40 on eBay for it, like some people do. Simple Minds, you know, they're a good band. I think they still are a good band, like as in they're still out there. Not the greatest record, but it was very commercially popular. All the Things She Said, Alive and Kicking, Jungle Land, Oh Jungle Land, not Springsteen's Jungle Land. Sanctify Yourself, you know. Lots of hits off that. Not sure if they were mainstream hits, but those were huge alt radio hits. And Tailor-Made Bluegrass. It's a bluegrass record. So that's the end of day 24. Thanks, David, for picking the numbers and playing along. You know, it's always lots of fun. Have a good day, everybody. Keep the records, man.